today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little Valentine treat holder. Like I said, it's really easy and simple to do. And this is one of those items where if you're mass producing it for like a child's class, for example, I had to make 22 of them. You need something that's quick and simple you can put together pretty fairly easy without a lot of extra work put into it, because you know that the little kids are going to get it and they're really just going to kind of throw it away. So you don't really want to put a whole lot of work into it, but you still want to make something that's nice. So basically what this is just an envelope, and I've stuck some kind of a packaged treat in there with a Valentine card. My son really wanted to make his own Valentines this year, to do the store-bought Valentines this year. He even wrote his name on the back. So I had to figure out a way to package these together that were still cute, where I could still make the cute little Valentine that I wanted to make for his class. So this is a great way to do it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to need is a 3x3 envelope, and this is just your regular white envelope, 3x3. And the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to trim off the flap of your envelope right here. So just using my paper cutter, basically all I did was just cut along a little bit under the seam line of where your envelope flap would fold over. You just want to cut that off and discard it. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take a corner rounder, and what I've found is you're going to want to use a 1/2 inch corner rounder. So your corner rounder needs to be 1/2 inch in order for this to work right. So what you're going to do then is you're going to take the corner where the opening is, where you just trimmed off the flap, and you're going to want to put that into your corner 1/2 inch corner rounder. Then you're going to want to do each corner. And what that does is it kind of leaves open a little flap on the side, and it makes it easier to trim off that the side of your paper right there. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to go down the side with your scissors just a little bit, and you're just going to trim straight across. Just like that. And the reason you're doing this is kind of so you have an extra flap, but you don't have that white sticking out on the top. And then the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of pattern paper or designer series paper. Pick the side of pattern you want to use for your project, and you're going to want to cut it 2.5 by 3 1/8 to 3 1/4. The reason why you want to cut it a little bit bigger than 3 is because these envelopes, I noticed, they're not always straight. So sometimes you're going to go ahead and put them down, and you're going to end up with a little bit shortness on the side. So if you make it a little bit bigger where it hangs over, you can just trim the sides off. That way you can guarantee you're always going to get one that fits on there. I found it's easier to put my adhesive on the envelope itself as opposed to on the back of the designer series paper and the pattern paper. You just want to put it along the top. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, there we go. So you take your pattern paper, and what I did is I flushed to the top, so make sure it's covered at the top. Make sure you're covered at the bottom. Put it down. Then when you flip it over, you can see I have a little bit of overhang. But you can see is that my overhang is different sizes, because like I mentioned, the envelopes are not all. So very carefully, just trim off your extra. Make sure you don't accidentally cut into your envelope seam, because then you're going to end up cutting a hole in your envelope. You don't want to do that. Okay. Next step is to decorate, and I'm just using some random ribbon that I have laying around, And before you put your ribbon on, you want to make sure you take whatever items you're going to put inside your treat. You want to put that in first and then tie your ribbon around. Because what that does is it helps give a little bit of tightness to it, I guess you'd say. So it helps hold your treat in a little better without it falling out. If you do it without the envelope, without your items inside the envelope, what could happen is you could end up with it being too tight where you can't slide your items down into it. And then once you have that in there, you can slide it out and then adjust it how you want it. Then you know you have the perfect give and take for your items you're going to put inside. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and decorate it. Like I said, simple. Next thing you're going to want to do is take a matching piece of cardstock and you're going to want to punch a heart out. And I punched it out pretty in pink with the heart punch. And then what I did is I stuck my pretty in pink heart into the square lattice embossing folder and I ran it through my Big Shot. And what I get is my little pink heart. And if you're doing multiples of these, you could put multiple hearts in here. I get this nice textured heart, and you could use the de-embossed side or you could use the embossed side, whichever one's up to you. And I'm just using some random dimensional adhesive. I'm kind of trying to clear out my stuff here and use up what I've got. Some stuff I have laying around. So just going to want to put your adhesive on. And then a little tip, when you're putting something down that has dimensions on it, dimensional adhesive on it, or 3D adhesive, and you have some ribbon behind it, you want to try to line it up where your ribbon goes through the dimensional adhesive so that it sits nice above it. It doesn't sit right on it, because then it kind of sticks to the ribbon as opposed to sticking to your paper. Get it perfect. There we go. All the way I want it. Alright, and next I punched out my Happy Valentine's Day. And how I did that is I just took a piece of white cardstock, some black ink. I used Happy Valentine's Day from Stampin' Up's Teeny Tiny Wishes. And I'm just going to stamp that on my white cardstock. Just like that. Using the word window punch, I'm going to go ahead and punch that out. You want to line it up. Should fit in there pretty well. And how I adhered this is I put some glue on the one end and I put some dimensional adhesive on the other. And actually what it is, I took a adhesive square and I just cut it in half so that I had kind of a smaller piece. I'm going to put that on there. I use some Tombow multi glue. Just gonna adhere that down. And then for my little red heart, I took the little miniature heart punch. And I'm just gonna use that to punch out a real red heart. And you could run this through the embossing folder if you wanted to as well, but I'm not going to do that. Put some more glue on the back. I like the glue because of the grooves in the heart that I ran through the with the embossing folder. It gives it kind of a dimension, so it kind of leaves bumps and stuff, and so I want to make sure my heart's going to stay on there. And so I just used some glue to put that in there. It only takes a couple seconds for the glue to dry, so you're good to go. And there you have your envelope. I mean, if you're mass producing these, you could whip these out in no time. Then you just take your treats, whatever you're going to use, M&M's, Sweet Tarts, whatever, and you just slide those in, like so. And see how it's the back of the flap. And it's quick and easy, and your stuff's not going to slide out really easy, so, well, my candy is, but you get the point. Quick and easy, and your children's names are written on the Valentine, but if you wanted to, you could flip it over and write it on the back. You could make your own handmade Valentine to put in the card. You could put a cookie in there, whatever you want to do. Sky's the limit. These could also be used for other holidays, party favors, whatever you want to do. So anyway, there's another quick, easy child treat. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and happy Valentine's Day. Thanks. Bye-bye.